Hello guys, welcome back to another movie review, and today we are reviewing Horizon: An American Saga, Chapter 1. Yes, Chapter 1 of this Horizon American Saga. This is a movie directed and starring Kevin Costner. A bit of a passion project, I believe, in terms of, well, cowboys and Indians, civil war during the 1800s in America. All these people going over there, of course, and the Native Americans very much resisting against white people, you could say, or whatever. And yeah, it's the Wild Wild West, and Kevin Costner is directing it, starring in it, and it's 180 odd minutes. Yeah, it's a long movie, 3 hours and 1 minute. It is very, very long, and to be honest, it feels like it, and that's not a good thing. It doesn't. It does feel very long and very, very cumbersome to get through. I'm not gonna lie. I personally, it just had HBO mini-series all over it. You know, I know he's done a series called Yellowstone, I believe. I've never seen Yellowstone, so I'm not sure if it's going to be too similar to that, but it has that written all over it to me. Great performances. It just reminds me of Red Dead Redemption, the game, and I really want to play that again, to be honest. And that is down to this film. That is down to this film. Of course, I did see a Western this month as well. The Dead Don't Hurt Us. The Dead Don't Hurt Us. Viggo Mortensen. Very similar project in terms of directing and starring both of them, as well as written by. We also get in the movie Sienna Miller. We get Sam Worthington. Giovanni Ribisi is in there. We also get Abby Lee, who plays Marigold. Jenna Malone. We get Michael Rooker. We get Danny Huston in the movie, or Huston. Yeah, so, not a bad cast. Jeff Fahey in there as well. I like him from Lost. He's playing Tracker. So there's a decent cast going on in there, but it's got all over it to me. It's just got like Game of Thrones. There's a lot of different storylines happening, of course, within the 3 hours. A lot of the characters haven't met. There's nothing to do with each other. And if you watch Game of Thrones the first season, you'll think the same, because some characters don't actually interact with other characters, and some characters in Game of Thrones don't actually interact at all. Some interact right at the very end of the series, for instance. So it is an interesting concept in that sense, and I think this is very similar to that. So in a nutshell, that is the thing. It's basically Horizon is seen as like this, looking beyond the horizon, and there'll be like this town and this big city, and we can all live there and be safe and not have these like small little hamlets that these Indians are attacking and killing people, because yeah, there is a bit of that in there. There is a bit of action. There is a bit of people just getting slaughtered, basically, and that civil war, I guess you could call it, of those two cults and races and stuff like that are trying to survive. That's ultimately what they're trying to do. For me, though, I just felt like it was way too long. It was definitely for me, it definitely just felt like a TV show. I think each of us, as I said, those different storylines and those different characters that don't interact and stuff like that, and don't have any meaning right now, I guess. They were episodes in themselves. There was like 40 minutes here, then it'd cut to a different thing, and it'd be 40 minutes, and at the very end of the movie, then it ended with like a montage of like the next movie, which did look a bit more actionable. Number 2 is actually out in August in the UK. This one came out the end of June. So, they were filmed and shot back to back. I believe there's going to be 6 chapters to this. And I know chapter 2 apparently is 160 minutes. It's not quite as long, but they're still all going to be quite decent chunks. Don't get me wrong, it's decent, but I think it's just a lot to take in one viewing. I think for me, it's going to have to be a second viewing. I have bear that in mind in terms of my score, because, it is a long film. There's a lot of characters in there, and it's very overwhelming. It's very heavy, and there's a lot going on. So yeah. But rating the movie, what did I actually score it? Well, I was fair. I gave it a 3-star. It's not a bad film. The performances are fantastic. Sienna Miller particularly I thought was brill, as well as Sam Worthington. I thought he was fantastic as like this martial guy. Kevin Costner actually was quite under the radar and just quite subdued. There is a bit of a creepy scene where he's basically 70 and there's this girl on top of him having sex and whatnot, and I don't know, it just seems a bit like it's a bit creepy, at times, because he wrote that for himself in a weird way. Yeah. But yeah, as I say, it's very lengthy. I would say it's very lengthy, and it's got a lot going for it. But it just needs a bit more. There wasn't much action in the film. It was more dialogue than what I probably liked, and I think it just needs to be. It just needs to be. Time will tell. There was a good review actually on Letterboxd that somebody said, and I'll just read this out. Basically, it just encompassed me, and it says, "Placeholder, 3 stars for now. It's exactly how I feel. This is obviously a huge TV plot and doesn't function as a standalone movie. It doesn't intend to. It's merely introducing characters who are about to converge somewhere, so they're about to meet at some point. And sometimes Costner is introducing new characters almost 2 hours into this part 1. Like, it's hell. He rides into the movie after 1 hour of its runtime and already unspooled, and it's quite confident and baller to put the other stories up front. He completely takes over the film with his movie star presence. I think we're all taken for granted for the ease of this stoicism. So yeah, that is basically what happens. The first hour, Kevin Costner's not even in the movie, so it's an interesting concept of how that was played. But we shall see what happens with part 2. It's going to be very soon in August, so we haven't got to wait long now, maybe 6 weeks or so. But we'll see. Hopefully number 2 is better than number 1. But I think when you watch these back to back, I think you might rate them differently. So this may be a revisiting after number 2. Maybe we'll revisit them closer together and stuff like that. But 3-star for now. I think that's a fair score. Horizon and American Saga Chapter 1. Let me know your thoughts down below. Have you seen it? Are you going to see it? Let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.